Is everything an Xbox in 2026? Is Xbox still powering my dreams? Let's find out. My Xbox journey started in 2002 when I purchased the original Xbox. Took it round my friends, obviously Halo being the first game that I purchased on it. We played co-op, which was absolutely fantastic. We spent many hours. He didn't have an Xbox at the time, and he was more sort of PlayStation, as most of the people were. But I took a dive, went in for Xbox, purchased the first one. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. The controls were a bit clunky, because obviously remember I had the Duke control, which was absolutely huge. We played couch co-op. There was many games that came out. Gears of War, played Forza. There was some wrestling games. Raw came out on there, which I was a big wrestling fan, still am a big wrestling fan. And all was well with the world. He soon after purchased an Xbox. And yeah, we just sat there and we played Halo for hours and hours and hours. Then of course the Xbox 360 came out. I went down, bought an Xbox 360. I think I bought it second hand actually. Originally I bought one of the ones that didn't have the HDMI cable. Soon upgraded to the one that did have the cable. Fantastic games. I think generally speaking, and I think this is for a lot of people, the Xbox 360 was the best console. The best console. The controller was fantastic. Obviously you had the Ring of Death issues, which weren't fun. Generally speaking, absolutely fantastic games. And I can generally say at that point in time, it may sound ridiculous, but yes, Xbox were definitely powering my dreams. I was enjoying every second of it. I couldn't wait to finish work and go and play Call of Duty. On my lunch break from work, I would head out with my friends, play an hour of Call of Duty, which was absolutely brilliant. Minecraft came out and we spent plenty of time playing Minecraft. I still play it to this day, as you can see. And then obviously Xbox One came out. Xbox One was okay. The games were okay. They weren't as good as the Xbox 360. And I started to notice that a lot of the Xbox One games were remakes or starting to get, hashed out copies of games that have already been around and already proven themselves as good games. It was like Xbox was starting to run out of ideas. Then Game Pass came out. Game Pass, I think, was like £10 or something when it first started. It was absolutely revolutionary. It was brilliant. You could pay a small fee every month and have plenty of games to play. And I didn't need to purchase them. I mean, obviously back then I didn't really have an awful lot of money. But then something along the way got lost. Xbox, I think, started to lose their way. And they've decided now that everything is an Xbox. So all the exclusives have headed their way over to PlayStation. Halo's not an exclusive anymore. Forza, not an exclusive anymore. Fable coming out, I believe, is not an exclusive anymore. Now we're in a situation where 2026, and I'm questioning whether or not I need to keep my Xbox. The cost of Game Pass, as everybody knows, has gone absolutely skyrocketed through the roof. Uncontrollable prices. The only reason why I've got Game Pass now is because I've managed to get it for 3 months cheaper. When that runs out, I won't be renewing Game Pass in any way, shape or form until they decide to change it all up. I mean, I don't need add-ons to Fortnite. I don't need additional monthly coins or any of that stuff. So I would say it's probably pretty pointless for me to keep hold of Game Pass. Every game that I've got, I don't think I've got any Series X actually exclusive games that won't run on an Xbox One or an Xbox One X. But there are a couple of good points about Xbox. I love the gamer score setup and the achievement side of things. I do think that's superior to PlayStation. I like the backwards compatibility options. I love the controller. I think the controller is far better. My Series 2 controller is, I think, one of the best controllers I've ever used. But in 2026, with Game Pass being so expensive and the very few games that are going to be Xbox exclusives, it's like, why would you go out and buy an Xbox Series X or S? Why wouldn't you just buy an Xbox One X, which does 4K, which plays all the backwards compatible games, which is a quarter of the price. Quarter of the price. You're going to CEX or you can go on eBay. If you go on eBay, you can pick one up for £100 with a controller, good as gold. This thing, this Xbox Series X, is going up in price. It's 420 odd, 450, 500 brand new. You've got to be crazy. You've got to be crazy to purchase one brand new. I mean, there must be. I'm looking on CEX's website the other day, and there must be an absolute influx of Xbox Series X consoles because the trade-in price now has dropped by £100. The price to buy it's still the same, but the price to trade it in, you get like £250 for it. So if you're a parent looking to buy a console for their kids, an Xbox, don't bother. Don't bother. Just purchase an Xbox One X off eBay and have done with it. Because, as I said, you know, most of the games, majority of the games, are available on PlayStation now. And if you've got a PlayStation 5, why would you bother with a Series X? I, for now, will keep my Series X purely because I've already purchased it. I've got Game Pass temporarily on it. To sell it, I'm not going to get half the money I purchased it for. So I'm going to keep hold of it. My Series X, pretty much to me, is an overpowered media machine. I play my backwards compatible games on here, and I watch Netflix, Disney Plus, etc. All of which can be done on a PlayStation 5. So I think we can conclude that no longer is Xbox powering my very dreams. Everything is not an Xbox. My PlayStation is not an Xbox. It has the games of the Xbox, but it is not an Xbox. My Nintendo Switch 2 is not an Xbox. And my TV is a Sony TV, and therefore not an Xbox. So I'm a bit confused as to what is an Xbox, what isn't an Xbox, what can play my Xbox games, and so on. So yeah, if anyone wants to clarify that in the comments, that would be fantastic. But for now, I hope this was informative. If you're considering buying an Xbox, my opinion, buy an Xbox One X and just have done with it. 100 quid, job's a good one. Anyway, have a lovely day.